Ever wondered why sometimes your thoughts seem to work against you? It's as if your own mind is setting traps, hindering your progress and clouding your judgment. This phenomenon is known as cognitive errors, or mind traps. These are systematic errors in our thinking process that can lead to incorrect assumptions and, ultimately, wrong decisions. Cognitive errors affect us all. From the smallest everyday choices like what to wear or what to eat, to major life decisions like career moves or relationships, mind traps can subtly influence our thought patterns, often without us even realizing it. The purpose of this video is to help you identify and understand these common thinking errors. By becoming aware of them, we can start to challenge these distorted thoughts, reshape our thinking habits, and improve our decision-making abilities. So let's dive into the labyrinth of our minds and unveil these traps. First up, we have the all-or-nothing thinking trap. This is when you view the world in extremes, like a switch that's either on or off. For instance, if you're not perfect, you're a failure. It's a trap that can hinder progress, but you can overcome it. Start by recognizing this pattern, then challenge it. Ask yourself, is there a middle ground? Practicing moderation can bring balance to your thoughts. Remember, life isn't black and white. It's a spectrum of colors. Next, we plunge into the trap of overgeneralization. This mind trap is the mental equivalent of painting everything with the same broad brush. It's when we take one event or instance and apply it universally. For example, failing at one task and thinking you're a failure in everything. To sidestep this trap, consciously remind yourself that one instance does not dictate all outcomes. Be specific and factual in your assessments, and remember to keep things in perspective. One instance doesn't define the whole picture. Now let's explore the mental filter trap. This cognitive distortion occurs when we focus solely on the negative aspects of a situation, ignoring any positives. For instance, you might dwell on a single negative comment, despite receiving numerous compliments. To bypass the mental filter, try broadening your perspective. Consider the entire situation, not just the negative parts. Practice gratitude and mindfulness, focusing on the good in your life. Remember, don't let negativity cloud your perception. Moving on, we come across the trap of discounting the positive. It's a deceptive pitfall where we downplay good events and highlight the negatives. Picture this, you ace 9 out of 10 tasks, but dwell on the one you missed. This mindset can rob you of joy and skew your perception of reality. The antidote? Practice gratitude and celebrate small victories. Recognize your accomplishments, no matter how minor they may seem. Value the positives, no matter how small. Fifth on our list is jumping to conclusions. This mind trap is all about making hasty assumptions without all the facts. Picture this, you see a friend across the street who doesn't wave back, and you immediately assume they're upset with you. You've jumped to a conclusion without considering other possibilities. To avoid this trap, take a step back, gather more information, and consider alternative explanations. Remember, the world isn't always as it first appears, so investigate before you speculate. Next in line is the trap of magnification and minimization. This mind trap is like a deceptive magician, blowing up small errors into catastrophic failures, or shrinking significant achievements into insignificant trifles. For instance, you might magnify a minor mistake at work into a career-ending blunder, or minimize a major accomplishment as just doing your job. The antidote? Balance. Recognize the true scale of your actions and their consequences. Don't let the magician fool you, keep things in perspective. Now let's delve into the trap of emotional reasoning. This mind trap has us believing that what we feel must be true. For example, if we feel stupid, we believe we must be stupid. But remember, our emotions are responses, not accurate reflections of reality. To overcome this, practice mindfulness. Observe your feelings without judgment. Challenge your emotions with evidence from reality. Don't let your feelings dictate your thoughts. Always remember, feelings aren't facts. Eighth on the list is the trap of should statements. This is when we set up an expectation of how things should be, and then punish ourselves when they don't meet that benchmark. For instance, you might think, I should always be productive, but that's neither realistic nor compassionate. To bypass this trap, practice self-kindness and acceptance. Remember, it's okay to have off days and it's okay to make mistakes. They're part of the human experience. Don't should all over yourself. Next, we have the trap of labeling and mislabeling. This cognitive distortion involves attaching a label to ourselves or others based on a single characteristic or event. For instance, failing at a task and labeling oneself as a failure. Mislabeling is a more extreme form of this, involving dramatic, emotionally loaded language. To escape this mind trap, practice seeing people and situations in their full complexity. Remember, one aspect does not define the whole. Avoid sticking labels. Finally, we reach the trap of personalization and blame. This mind trap has us attributing every event around us to ourselves, or assigning blame to others without considering other factors. Picture this: you didn't get that promotion, and you immediately assume it's because you're inadequate. Or maybe your friend cancels plans and you think it's because they don't value your time. To evade this trap, practice objectivity. Examine situations from multiple angles. Remember, it's not always about you. Don't take everything personally. So, we've unveiled and explored the 10 common mind traps that can distort our thinking. We dove into the depths of all-or-nothing thinking, overgeneralization, the mental filter, discounting the positive, jumping to conclusions, magnification and minimization, emotional reasoning, should statements, labeling and mislabeling, and finally, personalization and blame. Each of these traps can subtly shape our perspective, pulling us away from reality and into a world of misconceptions. But remember, knowledge is power. Now that we've brought these hidden traps to light, you're better equipped to sidestep them. The key to avoiding these traps is self-awareness and cognitive flexibility. Recognize when your mind is luring you into these traps, and then challenge those thoughts. You have the power to change the narrative, to reframe your thinking, and to redirect your focus. The journey to improve thinking won't happen overnight, but every step you take is a step in the right direction. Remember, the mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely, and you can navigate any trap it sets.